There we go, going live. Always the question. Ron, unfortunately, I believe has been struck either with Corona or he's having a bit of an emergency, either which way. So unfortunately, he can't join us today. There we go, spilling me coffee already. Oh, sorry, Stan, if you're not talking, buddy, can you put your mic mute on? Thank you very much. Okay, so yeah, without further ado, we've got a really busy schedule today. Mitja, your lighting is looking beautiful today, isn't it?
It's a new camera, actually, not the lighting.
Oh, yeah. There we go. Well, it looks lovely and airy and fresh where you are, buddy. Do you want to kick us off with some technical updates?
Yeah, unfortunately, I will talk a lot today, which sucks. But anyway, so yeah, well, there is a new update to the node coming. Actually, I already asked privately several validators to update their validator nodes, and I'll show you how it looks. It looks like that. So we have this new 20th version of the block, which is currently like about 30 something % of the network. The thing is that it's a security update, but the significance of this is that this is the last compatible update to TON protocol. From next update, Everscale will no longer be compatible with TON and never will be. So that's kind of we said that we're moving there, and so we had to kind of be compatible for some time. From next update, all the nodes that has not been updated to the version 20, and all the nodes that has not been Rust node of Everscale protocol will be disconnected from the network for good. So this is my update from the technical side, I think. Well, apart from that, what else? No, I think that's it from me for the technical part. Let's keep it brief.
Well, that was uncharacteristically brief, but to the point. I mean, that's pretty big stuff, though, isn't it? Really? Does anyone have any questions, comments, celebrations, high fives?
Well, not yet. It's next version. So this one, the last chance to get, your node to Everscale protocol, basically.
Yeah, there you go. Then we heard it here first. Obviously, get updated or miss out, lose out. Right. If there's no questions, I can't see any raised hands on the call. We'll come back to YouTube toward the end if anyone pops anything in there. But I suppose moving on to our next topic with, who's this? Mitja. He's going to give us a little presentation all about Numiz.
Well, the thing is that I wasn't supposed to do that. It was Ron who was supposed to do that. But because Ron had some emergency, I'll have to kind of do that. And so I'm not the best person for this, but okay, so let me share my screen with that as well. So first of all, there is this little project called Numiz, and this is an NFT, which is a very special NFT marketplace, which is bringing me to the topic of the NFTs, which I will also talk about a little bit on a less pleasant note. But anyway, let's start with Numiz. So Numiz site has been live, and it's gearing towards the launch of that. It's a commemorative token. It has two sides. It's like a real coin. It has two sides, and one side is visible to everyone, and another side is hidden and only visible to someone who is owning this NFT. And the commemorative part of that is that it's created for certain like calendar events, and it's commissioned to famous artists, known contemporary artists. So each Numi has this, it can be Numi or it can be like collection of Numis for a particular date, which is which is created by some artists. And it also will have some governance token, of course, and stuff like that. But what we wanted to announce today, it's actually why I am announcing that in particular, is that apart from Ron is not being here, is because of because we are announcing here the partnership between Killer Whale Finance and Numiz, and that will create a special fund. The fund which will be governed through the soft cooperative voting mechanism, as all KW funds are. And this fund will create a DeFi instrument on top of NFT, on top of Numiz. So I will post the links to, we will post the links in social media about this press release, so you will be able to read it. There are some quotes from some like quite famous artists in there, and Jenny's quotes from the KWF part. So that will be special fund that will be it will enable the fractional ownership of the NFTs, of the true NFTs on Everscale. That will be produced by Numiz. So that's the announcement. And if you have any questions, just let me know. If not, I will move to the other part of the NFT that I wanted to talk about.
What kind of true NFT format are you using? Is it compatible with TNFT version 2.0, or it's a custom upgrade of that code?
Okay,
I think that's sort of a bridge to your second part of your speech here.
More or less, yeah. Well, okay, so let's talk about standards for a second, if we started from that. There is a repository of Everscale, official repository, and there are standards there. There is a tip 3 standard that has been published. There are some other standards that have been published, tip 6 or something, tip 4. Now, tip 6. Now, if the standard is not in that repository, it's not standard, period. Standard does not exist. It can be like some custom stuff that some companies agree between themselves, that's fine, but it's no standard. And so there is a guideline for how to do Everscale standards as a technical guideline, and Ilya is responsible for that repository, and he is maintaining that repository, and I'm maintaining that repository as well. And there are some other people from Roxas and other people who are maintaining this repository as well. Now, if you want to ask why these people are maintaining repository, I have an answer for you. It's because these people wrote the most code of the Everscale blockchain, and that's why they actually maintaining this repository. So it's like meritocratic. Like merit means someone who contributed the most has the most merit, period. So the process is described, and that will be refined, of course, and it's a community effort. But the maintainers are there to ensure that the standards follow the standards. And they're sound technically, okay? So to your question about Numiz and the standard. So right now, there is no NFT standard described in the repository, meaning there are no standards. Now, there was a standard, like a proposal, okay, that we proposed back 2 years ago, something, about the tip 3 NFT extension. And from that point, it has been, then I kind of thought about that, and then I proposed the true NFT, both the term and the standard, like the basic principle of how true NFT should be built. And following that principle, there were several implementations of true NFT, okay? And these implementations are right now used by several marketplaces. Then there is, to my knowledge, again, nobody asked me, nobody invited me to do anything, and it's fine. I'm not really, I don't want to do that. But there was a group apparently, or is a group apparently, that talking about making the standard. This group was formed by something that is called NFT Alliance, okay, which again, something that I have known of as a name before, but only after I read a proposal on the forum, I kind of came to realization what it really is. And we will talk about that in a second. So this NFT Alliance is proposing some standard between themselves, not involving any other NFT related parties, including Numiz, which works on its implementation, of course, following the True NFT guidelines. Now, thanks, I don't know to whom, like Turon, I think, they were invited to the group. And now they, as I understand, they have discussions about the standard. Until these discussions are over, and until the standard is properly submitted under tip 4, I proposed that current tip 4 will move to tip 1, actually, as part of the Ton Virtual Machine, or TVM, which is now being renamed to Trustless Virtual Machine extensions. And we will talk about this actually in a second. Do you follow me? Sorry for being complicated, but I'm just trying to
I do follow you, and I have
let me finish. Yeah. Okay.
Between
let me finish, and then maybe
sure.
Let's use the raised hand feature, please, folks, for questions.
Yeah. All right. So this group, or whatever other group, want to introduce a standard, the NFT standard. There will be a tip 4, or is a tip 4 reserved for such a standard. Now, the standards in Everscale are now being done in a tree structure, where there is a principal standard with principal interfaces and then extensions going like, for example, tip 3. Tip 3 describes just a general principle of how the token, fungible token works. And then there is tip 3.1, for example, which is some subset interfaces that someone proposes and need to use. And then if you don't have in the tip 3.1 some interface that you need, you propose it in tip 3.2, and so on and so forth. And if someone need a combination of these, they propose tip 3.5, 760, that will combine whatever interfaces they need. And following this tree structure, then anybody in the world can just take and support whatever is added to this library of interfaces. Okay? And that is the only way, and we discussed at length. I don't want to go into this discussion right now because it was discussed in the technical groups a lot. And we all agreed that this is the only structure that can be really supported. Okay, it's actually similar to near protocol structure of standards, but a little bit, I would say, better defined. Okay, so it's a kind of duck typization, if you will, but that's how it will be structured. So again, for the NFT, until someone is actually committing to the repository with a proposal for tip 4 standard, there is no NFT standard. I don't know what is 2.0, 1.0, 51.0, whatever. It does not exist. Okay, it's just your own proprietary implementation currently, and everyone's proprietary implementation, because there is no standard. So did that answer this part of your question?
Yes, partially. And I see a pull request in your repository that you spoke of. You spoke of, I'll correct myself, with the liquidity NFT standard. I was wondering if you have seen it, as you are one of the persons that manages this. Like, okay, this is just for your information.
That's fine. I will see it. I will see it. If there is, I get an email update. I just, I will come to that, of course.
And the next question that I would like to ask, that I do totally agree that tree structure and some formalization of the standards is essential. But I was wondering, does this mean that, say, a wallet supports the version 4.1, So when I, in particular, would like to make an NFT with breeding mechanics, which will change the hash of the contract. So that means that that particular wallet that supported 4.1 version will have to be additionally notified that there is a 4.2 version and that it has to take that hash of the contract and add it to its code for the NFT to be properly displayed in that particular wallet.
Well, the wallets need to follow if the wallet wants to support particular standard, then it need to add the interface and support for this hash for this particular standard. Yes.
So it means that we are having 4.x versions, like numerous ones for the breeding, for the burning, for staking,
or a combination, of these. Yes.
Oh yeah. So never mind. Like 4.x. Well, x is a random number, and we have n wallets, m explorers, and n marketplaces. So all of these entities will have to update their code each time. Okay. So, and the question is, I've been following Solana for a while, the NFT part of Solana, and I do see that they have the format, the architecture for a token, for an NFT token, and it's sort of supported version is one and only version, while all the mechanics for staking, burning, and whatever are additional contracts. So in my understanding,
you can do that. You can do that. No problem. You can do that. And then if you do that like this, maybe it's a good idea. If you do that like this, then if someone wants to support staking, he'll just need to support additional contract for staking.
No, you didn't get me. I mean that, like taking us as an example, they support tip 4.1, which is the basic architecture of the token. And they never mind if they're 4.2 or whatever, because they support the basic standard, and all the mechanics for burning, breeding, or whatever are additional contracts which are on top of the standard, so they don't change the hash of the contract for 4.1, but they are additional. So this gives us that marketplaces, wallets, and explorers don't have to update their hashes when each new mechanics is introduced, and they still are displayed in their interfaces correctly.
You can do that here as well, and I just described to you how. You take the NFT token and you put that in just the basic NFT interfaces that you need in 3.1. Okay, so now everyone supports 3.1, supports the token. Now, if you want a breeding mechanic, you can create a standard for it. Can be different standard, can be tip 75 for breeding. Okay, and that will be completely different. You can follow this logic, no problem. Or you can create tip 3.2, where you add that to your contract if you want. But that's already it's a developer's decision. You definitely can do breeding in a separate contract, and you don't need to touch the 3.1 that you support. You can do the same thing. But you also need to remember that, I understand that if something is 30 billion value, for example, then you assume that all their technical decisions are correct. Though Cardano network is now actually like the price of the token is more than Solana, right? The market cap of Cardano is more than Solana. So should we assume that Cardano's technical decisions are better?
I'm not assuming. No.
I'm doing face palm now. That's because I don't have the sticker pointing out.
That's more.
Solana has a very different architecture. So can you come back to me when Solana will bypass like 5,000 transactions per second?
again, you're playing words here.
Michael,
I'm not playing technical decisions.
Sorry, Vijay.
Maybe let's move this conversation to a more technical forum then, Michael.
Just give me
30 more seconds then, but you're not filibustering this conversation.
I'm not speaking about the workload of Solana or whether it's a good or bad blockchain with potential or not, as well as Cardano or whatever. I'm just saying that I've been looking pretty closely on the amount of NFT tokens and their life within Solana ecosystem. And by this point, it took me about 3 months or maybe 4 to go that deep into this ecosystem. And I'm not seeing any problems speaking about the mechanics of the NFT tokens. Mm-hmm. So rounding up my comment here, I would kindly ask you to look at the repo, the pull request that I spoke earlier, because it offers maybe some mechanics that are which will help the developers skip the stage of going door to door to each wallet, Explorer, and whatever to ask for the support of their contract. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Michael.
Yeah,
Eugene,
let me just just before then, as I said, you can do whatever you want as long as you understand and follow the basic guidelines that the contract has to be compact, so there shouldn't be a lot of interfaces that the contract support. And if you want additional, you can put it into the separate contract, as you said. Don't try to push everything in one contract, because again, it's a trade-off which we are not ready to make. We're not ready to make a trade-off where you create a contract which will be so easy to write, but then it will crash on the first mass adoption of this contract, like it happened with NFTs, game tokens on Solana. All right, and that's exactly like the proper architecture should be followed with the if you wanted to be scalable under the multi-threaded, multi-sharded blockchain like Everscale. That's all I will look at of course I will propose.
All right, brilliant. Can you lower your hand for us, Michael? And Eugene, you had a question.
Yes, Media, first of all, thank you for this initiative. As you certainly know, Numiz is the project that's been in the works for perhaps longer than any other project except blockchain, Everscale blockchain itself. My question is, as we have learned, a significant part of success of a particular project depends on advertising. What plans does the group have in terms of promoting this joint decision between Flex and Numiz? Thank you.
It's not Flex, it's KWF. But yeah, well, I cannot speak for Crypto Numiz. I do like participate in that project, but in a very, very limited capacity, and I didn't do any development on that. So like this question, I'm not involved day by day. So I cannot comment on any technical kind of things in depth. We need to bring here guys who are doing Numiz. They have a separate technical team, and they can answer these questions. In terms of promotion and marketing, KWF is it's a fund, right? And it's a DeFi project. And we do have a lot of marketing, I would say, focus. But when I said marketing, we're talking about investor community. And KWF will do like a lot of promotions in that community and a lot of marketing within that community for the next couple of months for 2 funds that we're going to raise. One fund is for KWF token for the startups and new blockchain projects, and this one is for the artists and NFTs investment. So yeah, to your question, there is a dedicated team, and Jenny is part of that team, by the way. Say hi.
I wanted to welcome Jennifer.
Hi, yeah, we will definitely introduce one fund in our, we will speak about the fund in the show, so that's also will bring some, some importance to the other ones. So we are pointing on spreading the voice using the show, using the voice, actually. This is like what we're, obviously there's a part previously that we're doing right now, but during the show, we are actually now preparing a promo as a show. It will be as a first episode, basically, where we were going to be speak about the fund and about the new fund that we are creating now. So we want to become a media channel where everything can be mentioned, everything can be discussed. So that's how I feel like this is how also the voice is going to be spread potentially. So yeah.
Thanks, guys. And then I hope you guys will use the new software we tested in Nevermind the Shitcoins. It impressed everyone. Much better than the Zoom.
Well, that's
actually,
a very long story.
Actually, we're not going to use the Zoom. We never did. And in KWPC, but that's how the show called, if you remember, there is a whole production team which comprises of directors and editors and graphic designers and so on. And this whole show is produced separately. It's not using Zoom. It's using a special, professional grade streaming software mixed on the server and streamed from this server to the. It's a pretty expensive setup. So yeah, it's completely, and it's all 4K video streams and such. So you'll see there's it's not some just podcast software that we're using and not Zoom.
Thanks, guys, and I wish you luck in this. Thank you.
Much more upmarket than Nevermind the Shitcoins, Just very quickly on the note of KWT, we've got a question in the YouTube chat. When will the lending be available for KWT? So I'm not sure specifically what that means, but I mean, any updates on that side? Just quickly while I've got you, Meek.
Okay, so the KW .finance lending has been updated. It's a new lending. Then it is growing in size because we're now working on the financial tools, which are the tools that investors need to invest actually. So these tools will include, and that will be released, I hope, next week, that the bridge, Broxus bridge integration, where you could, buy KWF tokens with any asset on which bridge support, and so on. So that's like a lot of technical stuff that is going on, but the site will be upgraded as well, because it's right now it's just a landing page that will be a multi-page website. And KWPC does have its website, kwpc.show, that will be integrated into KW Finance soon. And this lending will be integrated into KW Finance website, and will have a little bit different face. So I don't know what the question means actually, because they both have lending right now. You can go actually see. And KWT, of course, tokens has been released because the first bunch has been released. And the bot has been updated, and there is about 8 million tokens which are now in circulation, and these tokens are on the user wallets. So there is some OTC trading going on, as far as I know, but we're not going to list these tokens on any other exchange apart from Flex, and the Flex will be released. And that's the reason is that because we don't want to create actually the prime market for KWT before we have the projects and staking mechanics and farming mechanics, which you can use beforehand. That this token doesn't really have value apart from the value of the future kind of investment. So right now we don't want this token to be tradable actually. So we're fine with that.
Excellent. Well, if that doesn't quite answer your question, Deeple Live, pop something else in the YouTube chat, buddy. But yes, I don't see any more hands or questions specifically for now, so let's move swiftly along. We have a very exciting presentation from the representatives of the DeFi Alliance. Oh, sorry, very quickly. Sorry, Gramkit. I can see your name as, buddy.
Oh, hi everyone. I read the NFT Alliance proposal at the forum, and I have a few words. This is my point of view, and it may not be correct. But I believe that it's necessary to have a public discussion in order to avoid mistakes. First, there is Swoi.dev team in the Alliance. Let's remember what the team did for Everscale. Firstly, they developed a DEX for which 250,000 Evers were received at the contest. Have you ever used the DEX from Swoi.dev? I tried it today, it doesn't work. And I've never heard that anyone used this exchange. What else? The useless NFT collection of 10,000 punks, of which the team collected 2 million Evers from the community. And what did they do? They did the staking of the token they created. Staking for what? Staking for staking. Some community members and I asked what these tokens would be used for. We have not heard an adequate response. They say they don't reveal these plans. Imagine the situation. Mita launches KYPC. We ask him, why we need a killer whale token? I'm not revealing my plans, Mita says. Just give me your money. They promise that they will make a governance using a token. Governance for what? It will be the governance for the governance, and Everscale will get a useless NFT collection with useless staking and useless governance. We can only continue the discussion about the NFT Alliance proposal after the Swoi.dev team is removed from the Alliance. My position, not a single ever for Swoi.dev, never. Let's move on. Should we allocate 50 million Evers for the Alliance's NFT pilot? Of course not. The amount should be divided into several parts, and each part should be paid only after check of the KPI execution after receiving the previous tranche. The NFT Alliance should submit a detailed roadmap for a short period of time and with a much smaller amount. For example, you give us $1 million Evers. With months we will attract the artists and make collection. We will spend a certain amount of money on this, and only after that main governance maybe make tranche. Unfortunately, I do not have to the right to vote in the main governance, but I urge the members of the main governance to take this proposal very responsibly. Require execution of the Swoi.dev team and teams that have shown its inefficiently. I'm sorry for my English. And make transaction only with small ports and only after KPI execution. We have a lot of dead projects and partners. Do not repeat mistakes. Let's kill the useless sub-governance, rename them into alliances, and continue to pump liquidity out of the project. It's a great way to kill the project. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Strong opinions for sure, but
can I add? I raised my hand. Yeah, I raised my hand. I waited for someone to start this discussion, and thanks that it's been started. I totally agree with Nikita. I don't agree about the Swoi.dev because that's kind of naming names. I don't want to name names, and they did some great technical work before. But let's come back to the NFT Alliance proposal. This is I'm trying to kind of find the right words without swearing. But this is just one of the most ridiculous proposals I ever saw on Everscale. The same, like even the Telegraph proposal was better, I think. I totally agree with Nikita. There's just another way to say, I mean, we had a sub-governance, now we have alliances. Let's pump tokens into there. And let's not tell anyone what we're doing with them. And if you want to ask, let's put word marketing there. Oh, marketing, of course. Like we need marketing. Let's put marketing, and then we can ask any amount of tokens because who knows what the marketing costs, right? Well, exactly. Like this is outrageous on so many levels. I cannot even start describing. Like, and yes, it started from, first of all, DeFi Alliance. Oh, now we can do that. Because look, you gave DeFi Alliance so many tokens. Why not us? Why we create another alliance and then another alliance? Let's do that. Why not? We have another billion tokens sitting out there. Let's give it to someone who names themselves Alliance and put the marketing in there. It doesn't matter what you did. It doesn't matter what project you have. That's all fine. So you're doing some projects, you're doing some website with some smart contracts, and then you say, instead of making money, I'll just go and ask 50 million tokens. Well, money well spent. I mean, under what metric? You're like the network supposed to give some tokens just for someone who did something. That's not how it works, and not how it intended to work. Beforehand, we had contests, and everyone said it doesn't work. Well, now we just give tokens without anything, right? Well, I can tell you where I'm living. If you do that, I'm living. And I'm dead serious. I don't want to be part of that. This is not the network I'm building. Like we have a technical teams who contribute like, I don't know how many hours per day at work. And I'm talking about Provenda team. I'm talking about Ton Labs. I'm talking about Roxus. I'm talking about Neil Foundation. This is the core teams who are developing like the core part of the network, right? Why didn't we come with some sort of technical alliance and ask for like, how many tokens do you want us to ask for? 1 billion? Because without that, you don't have a network. You don't have a token. You don't have anything.
Right.
And
Well,
this is no. I'm just trying to understand how it's supposed to work in someone's hand. And I'm not counting like my tokens against someone else's tokens against someone else's tokens. That's not how it's supposed to work. But what we're building here, really, we started with the decentralization, right? And then we said decentralization doesn't work. It seems like that. And when we started with decentralization, we also immediately killed decentralization with sub-governances. And now we're killing that with alliances. This network is dead. And you're wondering why nobody's buying the token, why nobody's investing money, why the token is 0.3, and should be 3. Why it should be 3? Ask yourself why it should be 3. This is the market. So we have a great technology, it should be 3, and then you can steal the tokens. Great. But no, it doesn't work like that. The market is not stupid.
Right, well,
it doesn't.
Obviously, Mitra is not a big fan of the NFT Alliance proposal.
It's not about NFT Alliance, okay? It's not about NFT Alliance. It's about the way we're thinking about this. I propose just to burn all the rest of the fucking tokens. So no one will have this idea that we can take the tokens and just give it to someone. Because that's not how blockchain works, guys. It doesn't. It doesn't. I read yesterday, I'm argue you to read the first letters of Satoshi Nakamoto when he started Bitcoin. There is a letters in the cryptography mailing list, as you know. Just come back to basis. Why things works? No, it's not because of marketing, some pumping stuff, and then it doesn't work. Today it's 60 billion, tomorrow it's 30 billion. Okay, you have 0.3. You didn't even start. Why you didn't even start? Well, because everything is just wrong. There's just wrong attitude, wrong ideas. I don't know. Just seems very, very wrong to me.
Well, again, like I say, I mean, obviously some big opinions there, buddy. I think some philosophical points made about the overall kind of scope we're at here. Darkwing, I can see you've raised your hand, but we are getting towards the back end of the meeting. So unless it's very short, can we move on to the next point and we'll come back to questions quickly? Yeah, like I say, obviously, Mitra, some very important stuff, maybe food for thought for the project as a whole. But yes, like I say, moving on to our next presentation, we will come back to questions at the end, guys. But like I say, let's try and get the presentations wrapped up for 2. We have Anton and Stan. kind of somewhat ironically from the DeFi Alliance. You guys have been doing some pretty incredible stuff this week, which should bring the tone up a bit more optimistic from where we're at here. So would you like to take the floor?
Yeah.
Hey,
thanks,
everyone.
Yeah, thanks for introduction, Ben. I heard that you is very strict, I mean, for good devil host. So could you please don't push us on our first call? Please don't push us, Ben. It's joke, of course. Hello, guys. Hello, dear community. I'm Anton from Broxus. We have already met many of you in our chats, mainly in DeFi. I'm very proud to attend today's call. Thanks for inviting, guys. Okay, let me make a short intro about our team. They are Stan and Evgeny. They will tell about the Everscale Grants campaign and DEXADA and ADAever projects. I can start with Simplex topic. I don't think it makes sense to make share screen, so we can do without it. As you know, the native coin of Everscale project is included in the list of supported cryptocurrencies on the Simplex payment processing service. And I tell you some news about it. Simplex, a lot of works has been done in this integration, and we are all happy that the integration has finally taken place. Now that the technical part of integration is over, our biz devs are working to achieve the option to buy Ether tokens on all Simplex partner exchange. Now this Gate, DigiPhoenix, and Bitrue. I mean Texas, where the Ether is already listed. Also, Simplex notified all its partners and their tier 1 exchanges, such as Binance, KuCoin, and BitHub, about the Everscale integration. So we hope this will help us a lot in the current listing progress. Of course, in addition to political preferences, the main goal of integration is to allow our users, community users, to buy Ether tokens for fiat money. I also want to note that the cost of buying Ether tokens on the official website of Simplex is overestimated due to the high commission. And this is done to motivate users to buy tokens on exchanges. So you can buy tokens directly from the card through Simplex or through a fiat gateway on exchanges that supported Ether. Commission is a few percent. It seems to be 3 or 4%. I think, yeah. So in general, we expect more preferences for the project from this integration in near future, and follow the news and chats and use Simplex. Yeah. Stan and Evgeny, could you continue our part?
Hello, everyone.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, coming through well, Stan.
Is the sound okay? Because I'm on the street.
I was going to say, it looks like a very beautiful city you're touring there.
Oh,
my friend.
yes, I'm in the center of Kutaisi, which is in Georgia. So
very nice.
It's
very
like
nice.
I'm first time here. Yeah, it's really beautiful city. So, but I'm not going to tell you about the sightseeing. So I'm going to tell you about the grants. So the last 2 months, we've been interviewing numerous projects and startups who applied to our new Everscale DeFi Alliance grants program. And so finally this week, we are starting to announce the first winners. So if you're following our
official news channels, so you might know the names already. But if not, I can announce them now. Can you hear me? Because
yeah, please. If you just want to give us a selection of the few of the cool.
So the first one is the one some of you already know. So it's GramKit, is information portal and Telegram group that gathers all the relevant news and details concerning the Everscale network. So GramKit has received 60,000 Evers to get their main goals, which is improving the quality of information available to newcomers to the Everscale community. And what is important, they will start spreading the Everscale word in English. So they also will be an important part in launching a new marketing campaign in Europe. So the first one is GramKit. The second one is like a revolutionary project in gaming. The project name is Fluker. So what's it about? So let's say you're playing your favorite PC game like Counter-Strike. So, and if you feel confident in your skills and feel yourself ready to win some real money, you just launch a special application on top of your PC game and enter a tournament where you or your teammates can win like a share of a tournament's prize pool. So Fluker will receive 107,000 Evers, and they will implement Ever Wallet into their software. So the first winners of the project who will win the tournaments on top of Fluker will receive Evers as their first prize money.
Very
but
cool.
That's not all the news for this week. So we have some more announcements to come. And so for everyone who runs or just plans a new project can apply for a second round of the grants program. So you can find the grants page on Everscale DeFi Alliance official page at everalliance.org. So again, everalliance.org. It's there you can find our official grant program page. I guess that's it.
Great stuff. And Anton, you said evening. Sorry, I've gone a little bit blind there. You had something to add there, but
now
sorry,
I guess it's my turn to tell you about DEXADA, I guess, right? Okay, so let me introduce myself. My name is Evgeny, and I'm a marketing manager and business analyst from Broxus team. Today, I would like to tell you about Broxus and Occam.fi collaboration, which is resulted into the launch of the Cardano cross-chain bridge. So the first product is called ADAever.io, and Broxus, a development team that has produced a number of products on the Everscale network, collaborated with the Occam team to create a fast and efficient cross-chain bridge for Cardano decentralized apps and Cardano native tokens. By powering the transfer of liquidity from Cardano to Everscale and vice versa, the ADAever bridge will enable the trading and transfer of Cardano native tokens while bypassing the short-term scalability issues associated with the rollout of Cardano's mainnet. And the second product is DEXADA.io. Occam and Broxus also collaborated on the rollout of DEXADA, a simple and intuitive cross-chain DEX where users are able to buy, sell, and trade ADA and Evers, as well as take advantage of staking and yield farming opportunities. Also here, I would like to state that in both projects, Broxus stands as a technical provider for the DEXADA project. All other issues are covered mainly by Occam team. And if you would like me to share screen, I can do it right now and show you what has already been done.
Yeah, if you could do quickly, please, that'd be brilliant.
Yeah, sure. Okay, just a second. Yeah, okay. So here's is the bridge, ADAever.io. So basically, you need to connect your Numi wallet and Everscale wallet, Ever wallet. After that, you need to type in here the amount of ADAs you'd like to transfer from Cardano to Everscale. Unfortunately, I don't have enough ADA right now, but please believe me that by typing in here the amount you want to transfer, like for example 20 ADAs, also you can credit gas, which means that you don't need initially Evers to make a transaction between these blockchains. After that, actually you receive ADA tokens in the Ever wallet, and here is the DEXADA. Here you can find several liquidity pools, and I see here only Stone ADA because I already have OP tokens of this pool. Yes, then you can add liquidity to this pool, like clicking here, then here, then adding liquidity here, right? And of course, you are able to also join a farming program. But the farming pool here is actually still in so-called production. So we will finally go in production like in 2 or 3 weeks. Yes, I guess that's pretty much all about the DEXADA and ADAever. And okay, that's all for me here.
That's great stuff. Excellent, excellent. So yeah, Mitja, you have a question?
Just a quick question about the bridge. I see that it's like a separate interface, but it's very much like Broxus current farming pools. So is it going to be combined? Is it going to be available on one interface? Because I just don't want to go in between different, for example.
Well, now it's clear. It will clearly be, I guess, it's a separate project.
Yeah, maybe let me just answer this
okay. Yes.
So currently we have a second team inside Broxus, so who is developing this bridge. So with a new technology. So this kind of experimental technology, and especially taking that in Cardano, smart contracts are just you know, it means I will not name this. So and most probably in future we will merge those two. So but right now we are running the experiment with this new team. So
my question is, Vlad, my question is, for example, we are connecting in KWPC, we are connecting the bridge now. Will it be available for also ADA?
Right from the box, no, unfortunately.
So but is it like open API for if we want to accept ADA? Can we accept ADA?
Yes,
integrating with this part?
Absolutely. Yeah, just let's discuss it internally.
Okay. Thanks.
And I had a very quick question, guys. What's the awareness of this like across the Cardano community? Because obviously they are quite large in number.
Oh, you will learn soon.
Surprising. Oh, I like that. That's teasing me, Vlad. Brilliant. Okay, excellent. Well, we'll come back for more questions very quickly toward the end, but moving swiftly on to our final proper presentation of the day. Alexander, you've got some pretty exciting developments, haven't you, my friend, to share with us? You're on mute there, buddy. Alex, you need to unmute your microphone, I think.
Yeah, hello everybody. I would like to make a small presentation regarding we called it Endorsable NFTs. So this idea came to us when we were developing kind of our pilot collection, and we just asked ourselves, what will be if we will just combine two NFTs? So, and we called it endorsable NFTs. So, for example, if we've got a stamp token and we call it seal. We can combine the two, and we will get so-called endorsable, and we can endorse or stamp the original NFT and kind of recognize it. And you perfectly know the kind of practice in postage stamps, which in postage stamps business it's called cancellation, but we called it endorsement. So what will endorsements do? Just assume that for a moment that, for example, for some reason, SpaceX issued a collection of stamps, right? And for some reason, and it's being sold to public, and for some reason, Elon Musk decided to issue his own seal, and he will be able to endorse whatever token. So this is the main idea. We've got a token holder, which is follower, and we've got influencer who might somehow recognize this token by endorsement. And this is the main idea behind all this technology. And we just realized this approach, and we're going to launch it as a pilot product. So we've got a token, and we've got a seal, and we can seal the token with kind of join them, and we've got endorsed token. Such approach resolves a number of issues, and it might completely change kind of marketing or kind of introduction of collections into the market. First of all, such endorsement means some sort of token qualification. So instead of moderation of tokens, for example, on marketplace, we can just say, okay, whenever we've got a token which was endorsed by some influencer, it's some proof of kind of validity, right? Secondly, we've got direct on-chain interaction between token holder and influencer. No intermediaries, just direct interaction. And to get token endorsed, token holder will apply to influencer and quote some price for endorsement, whatever price. For example, I've got a token which is, say, $10 worth, and I'm applying for an influencer to get his endorsement from him for, say, $1,000 for whatever reason. I just would like this endorsement. So what will be the price of my token after endorsement? It's just a matter of guessing, right? So, and most importantly, what will be the price of the seal token, which will seal or endorse other tokens? If we've got, again, with an example of with Mr. Musk, we can just guess how many millions it might cost. It will be in value, right? So we've got direct interaction on chain between the two, between follower and influencer, and it might be some substitute for referential mechanics, right? Secondly, we've got some sort of distribution of value from influencer to token holders, namely to respective tokens. And lastly, we've got a capitalization of influencer in the form of the seal value, right? Seal is the token that is endorsing other tokens. So this is it looks very simple, but it's very much powerful. So as I mentioned, for followers, endorsement means appreciation of their tokens. For influencers, it means direct cash inflow from endorsement, and secondly, capitalization of the seal, which they will produce. And it's just plain vanilla, straightforward, very simple token, NFT token, nothing else. So once we assume that the technology somehow works with influencers, we can bring influencers instead of, I don't know, Discord groups or kind of classical NFT mechanics, marketing mechanics. We can change completely the approach, because we just can say to an influencer, okay, guy, you can mint a token, and you can endorse with this token other tokens, and you will get cash right now, right here. And you will get appreciation, and you will get direct reference, and you will get as transparent transactions as only possible, if you like, of course. If you don't like transparency, we can change some rules and we can change some mechanics, but it doesn't really kind of change the rules of game, because once we've got this direct interaction between followers and influencers, we can structure cash flows as you like. It's not a problem at all. Moreover, once we've got this endorsement approach, we can develop whatever derivatives based on it. For example, if we've got, say, 4 corners to be where we can get this endorsement, we can kind of make up sets of tokens, of 4 tokens altogether, that can kind of establish some new type of token, which we call forever. By the way, in United States, forever stamps are called the stamps that you can buy once and use forever in the future. So it's just some sort of analogy. And any other kind of mechanics, gaming mechanics, can be here realized. For example, you can use it in gaming. You can, for example, instead of collecting, kind of making up sets of 4 tokens, you can, for example, you can, in PokerTon, for example, you can make up some street royale or say collection of 4 cards or 5 cards or whatever, just what you like, based on endorsement principle. And here, just I prepared a very short presentation, and we just very shortly covered some basic steps for potential partners who marketing partners who are working with influencers, just describing very shortly how it will work to develop very basic plain vanilla campaign, marketing campaign. And very shortly, I will just show you, just a second, how it looks in real. So for example, we've got this token, and just to get it endorsed, I will just provide whatever price, for example. I will just show, by the way, you can get endorsed in any of the 4 corners, and you can specify in what corners you would prefer, and you select whatever seal ID that you would like to be endorsed with. So it's just very simple, and it's very straightforward. And for example, if we've got already an endorsed token, which is endorsed here, we're reflecting information about the endorsement token with which it was endorsed. So it's very, it looks very simple and it looks very straightforward, but it might prove to be very efficient marketing tool, and moreover, it might be a very efficient and very innovative technology in NFT world in general, where we're starting this product with postage stamps, but in fact it doesn't matter what kind of artwork you're endorsing. It might be stamps, it might be just the general art, it might be whatever. you are just combining the two tokens, kind of original art token and a seal. And once you had combined it, you got endorsed token, and we assume that this will kind of change very much pricing and change very much kind of rules of the game in the market. So that's it.
Brilliant. Very good. Very nice presentation. Thank you, my friends. If you want to just take your screen down when you've got a second, and Mitja, you've got a question.
Yeah, first of all, great idea. Really love it. Are you part of DeFi NFT Alliance?
I'm supportive of the idea of creating NFT Alliance, but I'm not, for some reason, I'm not mentioned, and our team is not mentioned in NFT Alliance, but
that's a good part. That's a good part. Let's talk because because we have this now. I have this idea how to create liquidity for NFT marketplaces through this mechanism without asking for 50 million tokens, or actually like without asking for tokens for nothing. Okay, but we do have like a possibility to create liquidity for these projects like this. So it shouldn't be exclusively to Numiz. It can be any other NFT project. So let's talk.
Good.
Brilliant. Can you just stop sharing your screen when you've got a second there, please, Alex?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Anyone else have any questions off the back of that presentation, particularly? Going once, going twice? No. Fantastic. Well, again, just my 2 cents, but yeah, obviously endorsement and verification of artists is a big problem across a lot of NFT platforms, you see. So I think that's a pretty innovative idea. Eugene, you've just raised your hand. Go for it, buddy.
Yes, I just wanted to compliment Alex on the selection of beautiful artwork that you're starting with. I love the artist, and good luck to you.
We hope that it will work, right?
Brilliant. Okay, well, that's all our feature presentations this week, folks. I mean, my bits are never mind the shitcoins. God, what a crazy night Thursday was recording all that. No, I see the little smile popping up on Alex's face there. As Eugene mentioned, we tried some new software, which God gives with one hand and takes with the other. So I am running a little bit late with the edit. The audio edit will be coming out later tonight, and we've got a very, very cool video edit, which should be later this week with a little bit of love and a lot of swearing and coffee. Apart from that, there's been a few cool things. A boosted staking article over on Coinopedia. Chess NFT are working on some cool stuff. I'd asked Jo to give a word, but she's had to dash off, I believe. As Mitja said, updates to KWPC. Our own Mr. Morozov gave a very cool presentation over at the GBA event. And there's been a whole bunch more, but to be honest, guys, I've been really busy. So that was all I could collect in a couple of hours this morning. Yeah, before we wrap up the meeting then, guys, I know we had a couple more questions just off the back of kind of the NFT Alliance, yeah, all that chat we had earlier. Alex, did you want to pop up with that?
Yeah, I wanted to share my 2 cents on the on some hot debates that were happening around the sub-governances briefly and NFT Alliance proposal. I'm not a big fan of emotional statements. I'm more for like thoughtful comments and constructive comments. For example, on sub-governances, I don't like comments like "let's shut all of them down," because the consequence is that people will just walk away. There are a lot of temptations out there with the other networks. For me, the right comment is let's shut down or not give more tokens to the sub-governances that don't add value. And let's see if we want to improve the governance of the sub-governances that are functional. I don't know, DeFi, Japanese, whatever is the right example, Chinese who are creating value. Let's talk about that. What's the right format instead of the current governance format? So that's my 2 cents on the discussions about sub-governances. On DeFi and NFT lines, my view is very simple. It's a different phenomenon versus sub-governances, because those are two massive segments. DeFi was basically big wave 2 in the blockchain kind of, let's call it, transformation / revolution, and DeFi is wave 3. And that's why we need to drive strategic presence in DeFi, and that's what was behind the DeFi proposal. Some can argue that it's too much, that it's not transparent enough, but we'll have to see how we can improve down the road. And there is value coming from the DeFi lines already, as everybody can see. I have the same view on NFT lines. It's not, by the way, only NFT. It's also gamify / play to earn, which is a big, trend in the market, as well as the metaverses, which is a lot of hype, but there is some substance behind, and obviously a lot of big IT behind as well. So they can, make things happen. And we need strategic presence in that segment. I do agree with the statement that the proposal might be a bit rough, but I'm for constructive comments. For example, constructive comments that I heard before on that proposal, or actually on the previous proposal, was the standard for acceptance of the initial members is investments of personal funds and delivered functional, MVP, at least MVP version. That's the criteria I can understand, versus let's get everybody who knows the word DeFi, NFT in our ecosystem. Second constructive comment can be, what's the criteria for adding new members? And that can be, again, somebody delivering MVP and it's functional and there are some users and traction, and let's do it every quarter. Nikita made a good comment. Let's split it in pieces and distribute funds against KPIs. It makes perfect sense to me, etc., etc. So, guys, I saw a lot of emotional comments on the forum. We heard a few today. I'm not for blaming people crazy or wanting to get hold of all the tokens. I'm for constructive comments. I did a few already. I will do more, and I encourage everybody to do the same. Thank you very much.
Who could ever accuse Mitra of being emotional? You're not emotional at all, are you, Mitra? Yeah, you talk with passion. That's all it is. But yeah, Darkwing, you had a few comments. Very, very noteworthy comments there, of course, Alex. Sorry. No. Yeah, I'm a silly guy.
Okay, yes. Yes, hello, thank you. Yes, I just want to add something about this whole discussing. I think that I've discussed it with some people and want to maybe say now to community about some little idea that I think that the failure of maybe contest and so on, the main failure that they were not very, very well described. I mean, when you write a contest or it doesn't matter, some document about some funding and so on, maybe it's better way to do it in some centralized way. When you mean I'm talking about something like business plan. I share some examples of this business plan about NFT contest on the forum. So what I wanna say in conclusion, maybe the best way to continue some of such initiative when group of people or somebody others have some idea of alliance contest or some other things, ask they must wrote the very big document. It can be about 50 or I don't know 100 pages, real big document like a business plan with all points, with all with everything. And I think that when everybody will see such detailed business plan and so on, it will be more, I don't know, it will be more trust in this in the idea in the project and so on. And I think that yes, it's that's what I want to say to take this. And by the way, I really want to maybe now know maybe Mitya opinion about this and others. Maybe let's do some things in decentralized way when we prepare a very good business plan and so document very strong background and KPIs before funding project. Maybe something like this. Thank you. Just my idea, my thoughts.
Okay, so there's some very good thoughts there as well. Thank you, buddy. Obviously, I think kind of the takeaway here is that this NFT Alliance proposal, at very least, needs some thorough thought and a lot more feedback from you guys out there. That's what it's all about, isn't it? You know, feedback, evolution, processes, getting better all the time, as they say. Yeah, we have no more questions on the Zoom call that I can see, and checking in on YouTube. Everyone's presentations must have been beautifully concise, because we just have the one Artem, why indeed not burning them, which I imagine is in reference to what Meet just said earlier. I mean, if you look back, Artem, there was 3 billion tokens burnt very recently. I imagine if people feel the need to burn the remaining billion, there might be some sort of a proposal or discussion on this. So hey, again, like I say, it's all about consensus around here, isn't it? I think that's all of our main points. So yeah, thank you very much for bearing with us, guys. A bit of a heated debate today, which is always a lot of fun. Unless anyone else has anything to add, let's do the old 3, 2, 1 thing. 3, 2, 1. No, thank you very much again, everyone. And hopefully normal service will resume with Ron next week. If not, I look forward to seeing you all. Bye.
Thanks all.